Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
Like, to me, it sounded like when they remixed the the Eliminator, no, not Eliminator, the ZZ Top 6-pack. Remember, they took the original drums out and they put drum machines on there. And
Yes,
that's what
has a
it's.
very I think the reason why he likes NXS is because NXS's drummer
Yeah.
always used these fucking triggers and this electric
Mhm.
shit, and I think that's what Neely was doing.
Yeah.
Was he hitting a bass drum or a hi-hat? I'm sure, but I think his toms and snare and cymbals, some of these things
Yeah.
were bullshit
Yeah.
for electronic shit, and so
Yeah.
it has that total. That's why I cannot get out of my head. Every time I hear the song start up, I go, okay, so it's like a cheesy version vocally of Roth and with the music of
Mhm.
NXS or something of that, I don't know, late 80s modern rock
Right.
era, Duran, whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
So, which is funny to me because for a guy who's like Slayer and all this heavy metal, hard rock,
and
classic metal,
Testament and Slayer.
his own band doesn't sound anything like that at all.
Yeah. Yeah. But then he likes the fruity Chicago. He always goes back to Chicago and Don Dokken. It's just kind of like,
Really doubles back
Yeah.
on that whenever he
Right.
can and tries to squeeze in what they did or successes they've
Yeah.
had. And
yeah. Because did you catch the part last night where Aiken brought up the fact that Coverdale's retired from music, but then he also uh, is offline, like no longer on any of the social media, and then Neely had to go, well, Peter Cetera did that too, and it's like, fuck off, like, who cares?
what did Peter Cetera do that? Is let's just call it straight.
Yeah.
When all of the Chicago guys die,
Yeah.
and there's no Chicago, and Don falls over and he's dead. What is Wendell
Right.
going to do? What is he going to talk about? What is he?
He's
Where is he
gonna
going to go?
he's gonna hope that Greenbaum, falls over dead somewhere, and he can step in and save the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Greenbaum calls him for that. We need that extra assistant over here with this SEP thing. So, yeah, I don't think that call's coming. No, just being realistic, SEP isn't far behind Don. Like in age and over. He's better ability wise, but age wise, he's not going to be a few years behind Don. So, SEP was like in LA trying to get Rat off the ground like 81 or something, right? So, that's pretty early in the game. Dawn was what, late 70s, this hard rock woman. So, yeah, that's not a train. Was my point is riding for very long. Him and Warren are going to do a couple more years of this, and then that's going to be the wrap on that. And there's going to be nothing. You might be seeing Sepp get off social media and go off to a cabin somewhere and hide and never be seen again. So, your mic's off, but no mic.
Like, that may be because he look at all the money he's probably making off the Rat stuff, at least the classic stuff, right? And then he re-recorded some of that stuff and has his own recorded versions of some of those Rat tunes. They're not as good, but he still has them there. And then he did remember when he did that commercial for the insurance? He re-recorded Round and Round and had, who did he have? Was it
him and Juan?
He had the Dancing Bear, didn't he?
Yeah, him and Juan.
And then Pete Holmes was the drummer.
The drummer and the two kids, I call them on guitar.
Yeah. So, that was his own version of that. They didn't use the original one. And if you recall, that one soundtrack for that wrestler movie, I think there was a version of some other Rat tune on there that wasn't the original Rat that was in that soundtrack. So
it was probably Ferentinos and Piercy in the studio re-recording it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. So even though there's going to be changes to CMS, and now there's changes, no more cap, and these things are changing on that side, the wrap up show is going to continue on. Like I said, we're just getting started. We're just warming up, really. So,
Right.
you know, I'm trying to think of other. There's a lot of music news that we could go over. The tours that have
Well,
been
I
announced.
mean, I
There's
think
packages going on left and right.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
while
exciting.
they're on, well, it won't happen while they're on break, but I think we had a side conversation about Neely going off on, what was it? Oh, have you decided if you're going to go to NAM? Well, I haven't decided yet. The way he makes it sound, it's like me driving to Portland to buy a ticket to get into a show, and
Yeah,
it needs, you need weeks of planning because, like I've said, having been to NAM myself, yeah, I've booked the rooms a year in advance because they're gone. I
yeah,
mean, so unless
yeah.
you know somebody in the area, which
Or
he
you're willing to
doesn't.
drive 2 or 3
Yeah.
hours from out of
Yeah.
the area to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a total hassle. Fuck. But it's like,
Yeah,
it's
like I
not
was
like
saying,
you,
man,
you decide to go. Come on.
yeah, that one time we had made a certain Best Western in Burbank our hotel place for the weekend, and then branched out and played these 3 shows.
Hmm.
And I just remember it was a Friday, and trying to get to Anaheim down that way on that traffic was just nightmare. From Burbank to
Yeah.
Anaheim took like 2+ hours. It was like, I don't know what, 40 miles or something, 30
Hmm.
miles, like, well, very far. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be a nightmare. And so yeah, unless you have the right accommodations, unless you have the transportation to set up, as you know, I don't think he's just able to throw his name on any old list and walk in the door. He's not that big like he claims. So unless he's got some Don's going to be there and I'm with Don or something, I don't see any way that's and then that would be Don already having set up a hotel room. Hey, Neely, you can
Hmm.
crash over here and do this or whatever, or Red Rain guys or whatever. But I don't think he's going to hang with the Red Rain guys. I don't buy that either. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
how
I mean, yeah.
it's only a couple of weeks away. So wouldn't you know by
Yeah,
now
it's a
what you're
couple of
doing?
weeks. And like I've
Yeah.
said, you need to do the rooms months in advance. Like I said, 12 months if
Yeah.
you want the prime shit where you just walk across the, um, you know, less than half a mile, to the
Yeah.
convention center. The other
Yeah.
thing too is the credentials. I mean, the cutoff point for credentials for NAM is the week before Thanksgiving. So that was over a month ago.
Yeah.
Um, so, you do that unless for some reason you get a credential from like a vendor. Like if, let's say, I don't know, let's say we
Ampeg
know,
says
yes,
Wendell come down here and stand by the
yeah,
amps. Yeah.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
say we know Eric Ferentinos, right? And he's repping his his company, the company that's
Mhm.
endorsing him, and he's
Yeah.
given 2 passes, for 2 people. Then yeah, I mean you could do it that way. I've seen that happen. But other than that, if you're trying to get press credentials or anything like that, or coverage for the show, or doing anything like any kind of broadcast or whatever, you need to have your request submitted no later than the week before Thanksgiving. So that window is already closed. So again, the way he makes it sound like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. I might go. It's not like you're gonna go to a movie, next weekend, right? I mean, it requires a lot of
I
planning
think
and
he's
stuff.
just giving a bunch of lip service for the fact that he probably didn't get his credentials or couldn't get in or something didn't go right.
Right.
And so rather
And
than just
and
say, I can't go or I'm not going
right.
because of this reason, he's like, well, I don't know. I'll
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was all coattail riding on Nalbandian, right? I
Hmm.
mean, because he hasn't been since he's, fell ill and since he's passed. So it's like, yeah, that makes sense. He was only getting in through Nalbandian. I don't think Don goes because, I
He's
mean,
old and
yeah,
not going to do that. I mean, and
yeah,
even if he did, I was saying that as a caliber of musician, he
sure,
might be able to say, hey, this is my PA and he's coming with me. If you want
sure,
me in your fucking event, I got to have
right,
this guy with me. Then
right,
you're going to get in the door because it's Don Dokken and people are going to go,
right,
it's fucking Don Dokken.
right.
But, and again, I would never begrudge that. I mean, I'm sure, but he's old. He's not going to leave New Mexico to go to NAM. He's been to NAM probably before. Doesn't need to go do it again. So I'm a musician. I have no desire to go to NAM. I can just go get the merchandise at the store. I don't need to go look at their shit. I can look at it online and watch YouTube videos these days. Your mic's off again.
No, but I mean, what I was saying is, I mean, that, yeah, I don't know. I got to go back one more time. I mean, I'd been
Yeah.
like a handful of times, but man, I mean, you just really have to be into doing a lot of long days worth of shit because it's just like, fuck, there's so much stuff to do. And
Stuff to
then
walk
after,
around and see.
yeah, and then after they close up um
That's the
the
part I probably
convention,
would be okay
yeah,
with, was the after shows
yeah, the
and
nighttime
events and
stuff,
the
that's
parties at
cool.
the place. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they do the different what they do, like the Ronnie Montrose Remembered, they do Randy Rhodes Remembered. I don't think they're doing
A
Randy
lot of
Rhodes this year.
the
Bonzo Bash, I mean,
type
a lot
of
of that.
metal allegiance type of bands will
Yeah,
also get up and
yeah,
play different places for the night and have
right,
different combinations of
right.
musicians jamming on
And those
stuff
are
for
pretty
sure.
cool. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's really cool. You know what's crazy though? I mean, I think of the last time I went to the NAMM show, there was this huge line, and I was walking through the convention center, and I said, what's this line for?" And they're like, "Oh, it's for Tommy Lee." And I went, "Oh shit, Tommy Lee's gonna be here." I go, what time does he show up?" "Oh, 4 o'clock." And it's like, fuck, it's noon. And these people were in line and blew the entire day just standing in line for Tommy Lee to show up. May or may not get shit signed because, as you know, there is a cutoff point. They like, well, we're going to commit to 90 minutes of signings, right? And then
Mhm.
they'll start going, okay, from here back, you're not going to get through. So bye, and there
Yep.
you are standing there for 4 fucking hours for nothing. Basically
Mhm.
pissed away your day. It's crazy.
I never did that for that, but I can most certainly say back in the days when you had to get in line at a ticket master or a Bass
Hmm.
ticket outlet to wait for the tickets to drop to get, I was, out the kid out there at midnight or whatever when the shit hit the fucking thing to get the tickets to GNR or Motley Crue or whatever. So, but no, not individually to meet a member, probably would not ever participate in such
Yeah, I
nonsense.
don't know.
And I was
That,
young. I
yeah,
was I was my son's age. I was 14. Of course, I'm gonna go stand in line and grab a ticket to something. I'm a kid. My mom's gonna drop me off at the concert. I can actually go out and do something.
yeah.
No. Now standing in Nam at my age to meet T-Bone for 5 seconds to sign a drum head and say get the fuck out of my face to the next guy. I'm good, bro.
All right.
Just don't need to do that. I'm
Right.
sure maybe some of them are nice. I know there's a lot of those guys. Rudy Sarzo goes out of his way to sit at the base place for Spectre and sign stuff and take pictures and be super cool. And that's cool. There's goes guys,
Yeah.
classy guys like
I
that.
I
But for
think
every one of those guys, there's the knucklehead like T-Bone who's going to
no,
be
I
like,
think
you're not a 10. You don't have tits. Get out of here.
the two coolest guys, and I they were there every time I'd been, so I got to meet them five five times. Billy Sheehan and Glenn Hughes,
Mhm.
super nice dudes. And then Ellefson I caught 3 times, I think. And again, super nice guy, but yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, super nice people. But
And it's kind of amazing to me because in my mind, Glenn Hughes should have every right to be an egotistical prick.
right,
He could
right,
sing like nobody's business. He was in Deep Purple. He's been in some of the biggest bands in the history of rock. He's could stand
right.
on his own as a solo artist and sell out places wherever he wants to go, not just in America, around the world.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that's the kind of guy who should have every right to be like, I don't have time for you, mate, or whatever. But he's totally the opposite of that, dude. Talks to everybody, it seems like. I'm willing
And
to take a
and
picture and
and
sign something
and,
for everybody.
and I'll say this because this is the worst part of this going. Actually, there's a parallel there with the cruises and Nam. In the end, you're going to wind up getting something. And I almost think that COVID might have originated at Nam because it's fucking nasty shit. I mean,
A lot of
you
people.
can't help it. I mean, even if you're walking around, using sanitizer and using paper towels to open doors and shit, something's gonna catch you. I mean, you could walk into somebody's sneeze and you're fucked.
You're in a
Um,
convention center.
yeah.
Probably got recirculated air in some areas and
Yep.
stuff. You're getting fresh air, so of
Yeah.
course, yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
and speaking of NAM, here's a regular attendee of NAM, having seen them many times, and you know him as the guitarist for Metal Church and
Mhm.
Black Sabbath. So, and and as seen tour managing Don Dawkins,
Mhm.
another delusional fuck like Neely. I mean, how Don really knows how to pick these guys.
Oh,
Oh.
yes, he does, my
I mean, look at
friend.
that. I mean, I think he's trying to, that musician, that Canadian guy, Thor. You know, I think that's what he's trying to market
Yeah.
himself as the new.
Yeah.
At least that Thor guy was actually a bodybuilder. He looked like He-Man
Yeah,
there
he
at
had
some
a
point. Yeah,
legitimate look, but
yeah,
this is like he's trying to get the spot in Manowar or
yeah,
something.
man.
Eric
Or
Adams needs a break. Crenshaw is ready to take the
yeah,
mic, I think.
yeah. What the fuck? He's another crackpot. But he's another
Yeah.
guy that is totally in his element at Nam. You know, he's wearing
Oh.
the Warren Star gear and trying to
Mhm.
look the part. And somebody always thinks this guy's got to be somebody. It's like, nope, he's nobody.
He's the guy who's gonna pull out like 6 laminates and be like, "I got can't get
Yeah,
anywhere in this place. I know everybody." You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Oh,
It's a Neely. It's a Neely thing.
it's a Neely thing.
He's the OG Neely. He's the
Do you
real
think
guy. You
he's
know.
probably related to you guys? Maybe he's like the bastard son.
I've wanted to meet him for some time and maybe get a little DNA swab so we can try to find this out. But Father Dayton was a truck driver, ladies and gentlemen. Let's
Ah,
make
there
that
you go.
very clear. He drove all around the Midwest and parts of America at different points in his career. So this is how I sprung up, and I'm sure maybe if at some point he was up in the Pacific Northwest, Crenshaw might have popped out somewhere. So
Yeah,
Dayton was in the
yeah,
trucking business, ladies and gentlemen. So.
yeah. Wow.
Um, yeah, that's an interesting one there. I'm always trying to understand. I want the tour poster. If I can meet him and get it autographed, though, I would put that Crenshaw tour
Like
poster on my
Crenshaw.
wall
Right.
and with my other memorabilia and say, I got Crenshaw's autographed tour poster for 2026.
Yeah.
Is he still got Ira in the band? Is it Ira hitting the road with him for this tour?
Well,
Or
Ira's in Violence,
yeah,
which
so
is
how is
interesting.
he splitting
I
duty?
think Ira, which this is a good segue. Maybe we'll chat about this for a minute, but a good segue because Ira's on deck for Bullet Boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't he like the 1B in case Mick falls off, the
Yeah.
1A is out, and then we're going to go to 1B,
Yeah.
which we watched that video.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I don't.
Well, and here's the thing. I think they blew it. They blew it. They blew it. They blew it. I mean, I think that had they done this a decade ago and maintained it, they'd be in a better spot now. Probably would have put out an album or two of original stuff. But now it's like you buy a Bullet Boys ticket for 3 months down the road. That band may not be who you think you're going to go see.
Yeah, and it just doesn't have any appeal to it right now for
It's
me.
yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy DeAnda and Mick are on their game pretty well with their instruments and they're playing and look the part. Mark's again, me and Andrew were discussing his dance moves
Yeah.
leave a lot to
Yeah.
be desired, and his
He's like
voice when he
fucking Corey
tries to
Feldman.
when he just sings in his like normal range, it's not too bad. But as soon as he tries to carry a note or do or scream, it just goes ah! And it's like a bald eagle coming out of the sky dead.
Yeah.
And that
Mhm.
Lonnie Vincent guy or whatever his name
Yeah.
is, he looks like he needs to be on someone's mechanic at the shop or in a
Yeah.
punk band somewhere. But the Misfits and the jeans and the
Yeah.
mohawk, I'm not feeling
Yeah.
that. Doesn't feel Bullet Boys
No.
to me, bro. I'm
No.
sorry. I know it's 2026, but just shave the head then or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Pull the trickster PJ Farley and wear a beanie cap or something. I
Yep.
don't know. Fuck.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just felt disjointed and not. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, I think the thing that you've invested time in these guys and going, oh, and then it disbands, and then they're like, hey, this time it's for real. And then you invest more time in it, and then oh shit, this fell apart, and it's like, well, we new and improved, new members, and it's like, fuck this. I mean, how many times can you do that before you just say, you know what, I'm no longer interested. I mean, I think I'd see them if they wound up on a bill with like two other bands that I wanted to
Yeah.
see, but I think at this point I'm kind of like, yeah, if it was them headlining and two local openers, I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Or yeah, I mean, like I guess part of it could be presentation too. Like it feels like to me if they hadn't screwed all this shit up over the last
Yeah.
couple of years since 2019 or whenever this whole mess started, where they were talking about getting it back together, they could have, instead of like, oh, come see us at this bar or club or opening for Warren at this casino or whatever, they probably could have got an opening slot at an M3 or something if they had
Mm-hmm.
just not done anything for a few
Yeah.
years and then said, original Bullet Boys will be there for Saturday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon to open M3. That would at least give a little more. Then they have a professional sound, a professional stage. There's going to be people in the crowd. And it kind of at least could have put a little more something to it.
Done
Just
it.
going out. It
Yeah.
seems like they just said, okay, we got the guys back. We got to go back to the same bar dates that Mark
Yeah.
already had booked. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get in the
Yeah.
van. Mick,
Yeah.
get in the van.
Yeah, I think that, and not that they're at the same level, but I think the way DeMartini and Piercy did it, where they're like, well, we'll do a warm-up show and then we'll do M3, bigger crowd or whatever. That they could have been like one of the first bands to go on that M3, and that would have maybe, gotten a little bit more of a pop and buzz. But yeah, like you said, they're getting in the Sprinter van and hitting all the club shows that Mark already had booked.
Yeah. And it's just some of those are literally bars and clubs or whatever. I think that one I was watching was with them opening for Warrant, which was a little bit better venue, but it was still a smaller place.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and it just seems like, I'm going to take a wild guess here and say that the management isn't behind this project and doesn't, as far as having someone who can out there representing them and trying
Right.
to getting them where they need to be. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It just feels like Mark's kind of already drudged this through the ringer so many times that, like I said, I'm with you. If it was opening for a package of things I wanted to go see, I would sit through a set of them to watch the other. If it's Tesla and Extreme Tesla and I'm going to go see these other bands. But the idea of me going to my local club here in Grants Pass, Oregon, if it was Bullet Boys headline and seeing what I just saw on the stage, which is Mark and dancing around, just can't. No matter how good I like Mick, and Mick's a great guitar player, and Jimmy's a solid drummer, but I just can't.
How long? When do you think this will fall apart? What's your timetable? And we can revisit this at a later time when it does.
I think, barring them getting some spot,
I'm gonna write this down
on a more longer package tour.
Yeah.
I can't see them getting through 2026 at the level.
Oh, you're giving them 12 months?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Enough time for Mick to realize this is not. I'm tired of riding in the Sprinter van with bitchy Mark.
So you're saying you're giving them till what, like December of what of 26, 25th?
Yeah,
of
from
26?
today. That's it. By Christmas of 2026, this will have fallen apart. We're gonna jot this down.
I'm saying,
and barring them, if someone came along and said, "Hey, whatever, I don't know, Poison and fucking Cinderella or Tom Kiefer, and they need an opener, and it's going to be Bullet Boys or whatever," then maybe because of the package of the tour and the bigger names above them, they might toe the line longer. But if you just constantly put them in bar situations or club situations to deal with the four of them and say, "Hey, here's the $2,500 for the night," I think they're going to eventually get tired of this.
Okay. I think it'll be over by the 4th of July. That's just my prediction.
The bridge by then,
I think. But look at this. So if look at it from the perspective of Mick. Mick was doing, I guess, some probably shows on the same level, probably as Bullet Boys, right? With Ricky Rocket doing his cover band or whatever.
I think it would still be, though, a notch above Bullet Boy. Ricky Rocket's going to get a little more pay for sure than the Bullet Boys were getting.
But I'm saying,
but the venues and the places, price,
and maybe even a slightly better, right? But you think about this, Mick, and I've chatted with Mick and met him a handful of times. Super nice dude, always been kind of, soft spoken, really humble. I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing at 65 years old, going back into this, which it's going to end badly. I mean, it always does and always has. And it's like, Jesus, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't do that at my age, and much less 65 years old when he had a pretty good gig with the Rocket Mafia. Again, not an original. Well, I guess they were going to cut original material at some point, but
Ricky talked about that. Yeah.
But then, I mean, no drama there. I mean, Ricky's a little bit of comes unhinged politically and stuff like that, and imploded the Poison thing. But then that just guarantees his gig.
Yeah. And I think that Well, yeah, there's multiple factors there. I don't know what he gets paid from one to the other. If Rocket's paying more, I would be sticking with the Rocket train. You know that even if Ricky gets back with Poison, it's going to be a limited run, and he'll be
Sure.
back to doing something on his own again. So you might as well just bide your time for those 6 months and wait till he comes back around.
Right.
Nothing's going to be long term. Brett's never hitching his thing to that wagon for full time work again. So
Right.
I think
Here,
the travel, the hotels, the places you're playing, the crowds you're playing to, all of it would be better with Ricky. So do I personally like Ricky? No, I probably wouldn't want to be around him very long, but that's just
right.
me. I mean, if you're Mick and
Right.
you're pretty easy to get and you can get along with the guy, you don't mind the politics and the whatever, then, hey.
Yeah.
So I cannot understand, just from the interviews I see and the things I hear and the way that he acts. I don't understand what is going on in Mark Torian's brain at any given moment. And so therefore, I don't think that I would be able to be in a band with that.
No, and he's clearly mentally ill. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got some kind of fucking personality disorder of some sort happening there. But I guess if you continuously go back and bail this fucking guy out, you deserve what you get. You know what I mean?
That's kind of what, yeah. And him and Lonnie are always hitched up like they're just totally fine. So it's
Yeah.
Jimmy and Mick who are probably trying to figure out, are we in this or out of this, or how do
And
we?
and
And then you get in that in a band situation, Ruben. You get in that two
yeah.
versus two. Two want this, two want that. Two,
Right.
I want to eat
Yeah.
here, I want to eat there. I want to stop at
Yeah.
this truck stop. I want to stop at that truck stop. I need this, I need that. I need booze, I need cigs. I don't need any of it. There's always
I
this
mean,
going on.
let's put together a better band than the Bullet Boys for Jimmy and Mick, because both of those two guys are really nice dudes, and like you
Mhm.
said, skilled musicians. Who would you get on bass and as a singer, you know, for those two guys? Because they could actually go out and do their own thing, and they probably should, because then they could perform the Bullet Boys shit too.
That's a tough call because the Bullet Boys are a kind of a, Mark does have a unique kind of a voice, I would say. It's not exactly run of the mill.
Right.
But I don't know. It depends on which way they're going. Would they go in this day and age? Some of these guys would go look for the young upstart on the YouTube who they've never
Yeah.
seen, and then there's guys like me who say, I don't understand why. I don't know. I can name different guys. Paul Shortino doesn't get these kind of gigs because he can sing better
No.
than all these guys, and he's
Right.
more reliable, and he looks like a
Right.
rock star, and he acts like
Right.
a rock star. And there's not all this drama and all this bullshit. Just let him have the
Right.
mic and get the gig and go do it. That's me. I prefer
Yeah.
consistency and professionalism and someone that is consistent with how they present their product and themselves on stage. And if someone like him can go do that rock vault and all this stuff in Vegas all the time and then still get on stage and pull rough cut and this, I mean,
Right.
come on, he can sing shit, dude. So why would, I'm just throwing that name out there as someone who
Right.
always seems to be on the fringes and never, I'm always like, why is it? He seems so much more reliable and better. Night to night, you would hear a better voice on the songs, no matter what band you're in with him than Mark.
Right. Right.
What he's doing is, it's weird.
Yeah.
It literally, there was one holler in there. I was like, dude, if I singled this out and put it A
Yeah.
B to a eagle hawk or something in the canyon, you'd be like, what is this? Is this the
Yeah.
same thing?
Right.
And so, and there's this guys, and that's partially, I think, because Mark blew his voice out probably somewhere in the course of the history of Bullet Boys. Number
Right.
one. Number two, I don't think he takes care of himself or did take care of himself in those older days, in the younger day, and so that, and then three, I think there's just laziness and I'm this,
Mhm.
whereas a guy like Paul Shortino works at his craft every single day.
Right.
Terry Ilowis works at his craft
Oh, yeah.
every single day. Get on stage
Right.
and sing and to be a quality singer no matter what he's singing. And then there's guys who just get up there and be like, I didn't warm up. I don't care. I'm not doing sound check. Give me the microphone. They think that gets them the same paycheck.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So if I was Mick, I would at some point in time. Now, maybe Mark is trying to step. Maybe he's seeing signs behind the scenes and Mark's doing some vocal warm-ups and seeing it or whatever. And they're trying to find a proper management and agent to get it to be more of a professional operation. But sometimes it just feels like
Yeah.
we've been here. We've seen this. It's not going to get better. It's how I feel with
No.
Dawkins. It's only
Yeah.
going to get worse. We're
Yeah.
circling a drain and we're going
Yeah.
down, down, and down. And
Yeah.
I kind of want to get back up to the top. I want to swim at the top and find something at the top. So, yeah. And what I'm finding is that some of the guys who weren't the big stars took care of themselves better. Some of those
Mhm.
guys do work harder because they didn't get the $1 million paychecks in the first place. So they're going to be here every night present to get that $1,000 paycheck or whatever they need to pay them bills. And they're going to take this shit professionally and sing well and take care of themselves. And Some of those guys didn't. I love Jack Russell, but Jack Russell didn't take care of himself where it went. And there's other guys out there at the same age and the same thing we've shown them and we've displayed them before that can still sing and pull it off. I mean, I don't like Duran Duran, but Simon Le Bon's 67 years old himself or whatever. And jumping around going, it sounded like it was 1986. I don't know. I wasn't even maybe a step. Maybe they had the song a half step down in some songs, but it wasn't enough very often for you to. And you're going, but that guy's the same age as some of these other guys. Why are they acting like this? And he's doing this. It's amazing. So But again, how you take care of yourself. Some of these guys cared. I think clearly Mr. Le Bon and Duran Duran, he knew this is his paycheck. This is the way I'm going to make my living for the rest of my life. And I take this seriously. And I'm going to get on stage and make sure that these fans get what they're expecting from Duran Duran. Don Dokken at this point doesn't try in any way to make any of this sound anything like the original band. So that's his own prerogative. And I think that's why he's dwindling in attendance, and it's getting more and more, like I said, the comments are growing on the comment pages. It used to be 50-50. Now it's 75-25, and 75 is negative. So, and Wendell can ignore that because he's a boomer, and so can Don. But the rest of us do go on Facebook, YouTube, social media, Instagram, Twitter, whatever these different program. And there's all kinds of them you guys are on. We're all looking at this stuff in different feeds, and we're analyzing, and we're deciding with our eyes and our ears whether we're going to spend $35 when Dokken comes around next time to my county fair or not to go see this fucking guy. And I'm not. That's me.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, we talked about them, a million other bands. I saw Queensrÿche, I saw Firehouse, these same places, my little thing out here in the woods, and they all kicked ass, got singers that can sing, put on a good show, make you feel like you saw the band that you were looking to see. And then there's a couple of these bands you're going, what in the hell is this guy doing on stage? Why is he doing it like that? And who walks around him telling him, good job, good show? I would never be able to walk up to, honestly, I wouldn't be mean enough to say, you suck tonight, Don. I might go up and say, that was a good effort. That's what I would give him. It was a good effort, Don. I don't know if it was good, but it was a good effort. Just being real there. I'm just saying. I don't think Neely ever said that to him. And Don's a smart enough guy to probably get the hint when I would say that and go, oh, yeah. Probably laid an egg tonight.
I think Don's blatantly so terrible these days that he could go into a senior retirement home and perform for them after dinner, and the feedback would be, this guy fucking blows, even from his peers. I mean, they'd rather hear Bob bust out the acoustic and get into some Johnny Cash classics than listen to this guy moaning and groaning. Don, to be honest, I hear you kind of hinting around that maybe this might be winding things down, and now you're kind of hinting that maybe you might want to record with Jeff and George and Mick again to do a final Dokken or something. All these kind of talks, but I think you should call David Coverdale and be like, how do I wrap this up appropriately? Should I just cut off my social media tomorrow and go away like you did? Think about this, though. I mean, in that whole Don throwing, or in his mind, throwing them a bone to record an EP, right? Who benefits more from that than Don? I mean, Jeff doesn't benefit. I mean, he's got a secure gig with Foreigner. He doesn't get shit on there. George doesn't benefit because then he could retain those riffs for his own use and put it on his own record, right?
Which Mick, we know he's going to do.
And Mick, I mean, what's the benefit of Mick coming out of hibernation? I mean, nobody benefits from this other than Don.
I truly believe even if that were to happen, it would require a whole lot of arm bending and talking into by Jeff and George to even get Mick out of wherever he's at back on a kit. And I'm going to go 90% and say that he would tell them, just call my bro and let Steve do it. I'm not doing it. And if you're going to go that route, what does Steve got to get out? Because he's in Tesla and he's playing 60 or 75 shows a year at Tesla. So he don't need to be worried. He's going on tour with Motley Crue next year. I don't think he's worried about whether Don wants to make an EP.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying none of them really have any. George would be the one who Don might be able to say, I'll pay you more than you're getting to play that venue by doing this. That might talk George into giving him some guitar licks. But even George probably I mean, I guess would hold back his best riffs and just say, well, what do you got in the can, Don? Can I play some lead over that? You know, I mean, I don't think there's a true collaboration. I don't think they're sitting in a room trading licks and melodies and collaborate. That's never happening.
No.
So, and when they did, it was Just Another Day or whatever that song was. And Don kind of, I don't know. To me, the music actually wasn't bad. It was the lyrics, the vocals kind of sounded like half-ass. He didn't give a shit. Like he didn't want to do it.
Right.
So just another day. I'm going to sing this about this song like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And in reality, you should have come up with something far more interesting lyrically than Just Another Day, dude.
Right.
So
even
that latest, as we were talking about that, I mean, me and Andrew are going on and on because, you know, Neely seems to play some of those songs like that Saving Grace. And it's like, dude, come on, that the band is holding him up, dude. There is nothing about that song, especially if they played it live. Oh God, it would sound just treacherously horrible. Just kill your ears. It'd be so detuned and out of just not good. And on the record there, that's him trying to get, and they're probably putting him in and then saying, hey, get the Melodyne or the auto tune in there and let's adjust his vocals so he's in the right keys and the right things here. And it still doesn't sound good, dude. So no, this is Dawn trying to gleam a little more Doc and shine onto him for just another year or two run so we can get a few more butts in the seats, making it like Kiss did when they said, maybe Ace and Peter will show up on the farewell. Yeah, right. They were never showing up. Right. You're just saying that to get people in the door, Gene. Shut the fuck up.
Right.
So, this is Dawn's doing the same thing. I see I'm going to bet I bet my house that Mick Brown is not coming out of retirement to go do that. No, you'd have to have like for Mick Brown to come back, there'd have to be, we're opening for Motley Crue and we're getting 60 dates at this much a night. And you want to go out and make some fucking money, dude. Mick Brown might go, I can make a couple 100,000 by cruising around on a tour bus with these knuckleheads. Let's go do that for a few months. But that's it. I mean, you'd have to buy him out of his retirement and that's going to take hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
I don't think you got that in the budget, Don. It's not happening. So
we
know even Tesla's not generating that on the Motley Crue tour.
No.
They're not doing that. So I mean, they're going to go in there with a decent nightly payment, but they're also going to count on the merch and all the extra shit they're going to get from all them people in that place to come over and sign some shit and buy some CDs and some T-shirts. So I guarantee you, Brian Wheat is going into the Crue tour with a small truckload of merchandise ready to go. We're going to sell shit, shit left. So.
And his books. I'm sure.
And just because you're also in a bigger place, when you put 10 or 12 or 15 or 18,000 people in an amphitheater, and they're used to playing 4,000 seaters. It's that many more people that you can move some shirts and shit to that didn't get to buy shit before.
I mean, think about this. By that point, maybe he'll have recorded that album with Chris Holmes and Tommy Scio. He may be peddling that at the merch table.
Could very well be. I mean, Frank Cannon, when he was on Trump, did make mention that that's kind of what they're all doing for the winter, but they're all going to reconvene in the spring, get back on the Tesla wagon. So they got a residency and the Crue tour next year, I believe. Yeah. So they're, a band that's proving to you that just because they're from the 80s, they don't have to be on the Bullet Boy level. If you stay professional, stay consistent, do good tours, do good business, treat people well, and put on a good show, you're going to still be able to put butts in the seats and have a career. When you're inconsistent and drug-addled and an asshole and sound like shit, then, you're not going to. They can knock Jeff Keith all they want, but Jeff Keith sounds a million times better than Mark Torian every single night of the week. So,
Right.
You don't see Tesla fans going out and going, what is this? Is he singing the song right? What key is this? Is he talking? Is he even? No. But that's what you do see when you look at the videos of some of these people. And you, like I said, the worst ones, just read the comments sometimes and you're going to see, I was at this show. This sounded like dog shit. Some of these people are even like, I don't even know why I went. Why doesn't this guy retire? So it's just telling you, I mean, they're just being straight honest about it. They gave it a shot and they went, holy shit, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
So, and there's been bands I have seen that I've done that to as well, but I more or less, that's why I like the internet. It allows me to preview what I'm going to go see. And is this actually going to be, the more I watch LaTorre, the more I realize, him and Queensryche are doing it right and putting on a Queensryche show. Whether I agree with his politics or how he is as a person has no bearing on it. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm just going to go see him sing, and he sings pretty fucking well. But some of these other guys, and Andrew pointed that out too. How come so many of these bands coattail ride the fads as far as the fashion trends? And I think that also makes us kind of degrade their value in our mind. Whereas if he showed pictures of Firehouse from the 90s to the early 2000s to 2010 to now, they're in jeans and a t-shirt or a vest. You know, it's the same attire. They never really changed their look, their style. They didn't try to go grunge or emo or new metal in any way. There's pictures of Dawkins looking new metal. Who wants a new metal
Right.
Dawkins? I mean, that
Right.
just degrades how we see you. So
Yeah.
CJ didn't really, other than maybe take off the black leather jacket and put on a denim black vest or something. I mean,
Right.
it looks like the same. Cut his hair. That's about all he did, right?
Right.
So, just saying, there's certain bands that didn't buy into that, and I think it benefited them in the long run because they've been more consistent. They didn't do this. I'm a new metal guy now, and I'm a depressed acoustic guy on Dysfunctional, and no, they just banged out Firehouse records and said if they don't sell, well, they'll sell in Jakarta or Indonesia or Japan or someplace, and we'll come back to the U.S. in 5 years. It'll be different. So, that's the same with, I think, quite a few of those bands. That's the Bullet Boys. There's a couple of their records that are not like those first two records.
Yeah.
Am I not correct?
Yeah.
Okay. They're trying to ride some kind of other stylistic
like
wave.
The Acid Monkey, and that was more of a grungy, alternatively kind of. And then anything really that Mark's done recently has been like the last one, I think, or the one before that, had some stuff that was more Foo Fighters like, and it's like that's not Bullet
more
Boys.
modern.
Yeah.
That sounds modern. Yeah. And I agree. And I think it just degrades the overall value of what you got when you do shit like that. I just think you should try to don't ride what's popular, especially if you have something that was good enough to sell some records on a couple of different albums, and just stay consistent with that. I mean, there's no, I guess maybe because some of them are looking for the more of the dollar, or I don't know. I can't understand how Bill Leverty can just be like, no, I'll just make Firehouse music for 30 or 40 years and put on my jeans and my black shirt and play my guitar.
Right.
And everybody's like, that's Bill Leverty, and it never changes. The quality doesn't go up or
Right.
down. He gives you a good record every time. If he's going to put something out, you know what you're going to get. If you like Firehouse, cool. If you don't, you don't. And they're not trying to be something they're not. And I respect that far more, even if it means lesser crowds at times in their career than guys who are. There's periods of Sepp where he's on there looking like he's in orgy with Eric on a mohawk, and they're clearly in the industrial new metal thing. And I'm like, this isn't Rat, and this isn't why, dude. This is now. Yeah. Granted, Sepp, I think, only did that for about a 5-year period. Then he realized this is not going to work long term.
Right.
So I just need to go back to my leather jacket and my shit on and go back to Rat Guy, But. So I think he didn't degrade himself enough because it was such a shorter period. But I'm just saying, some of these bands ran themselves for 10 years chasing fads and trends, and it degrades the quality of their product during that period. It makes fans like me question what I'm going to go see on future shows. And I'll just save my money for the bands that I know have been consistently the same. This is what I like about Iron Maiden. This is what I like about AC/DC. This is what I like about these bands. They are consistently. You may not like some of their newer stuff, but you can't say the new doesn't sound like Iron Maiden. It still sounds like Iron Maiden. And, I think those bands have benefited. I think that's why those bands are in that upper echelon now, because they just said, we are going to be consistent with this product. You are going to get Eddie and Maiden the way you want to hear it. You had 2 albums with Blaze. You were kind of like, and then they quickly, I think Steve realized it's going to go sideways. I'll never have a career again. Get that Dickinson guy back in. So, and props to them, like Priest, same thing. I gotta give credit to Priest, even though they had all of their albums, though. Even the Demolition and the other stuff with Ripper, if you line them up, that guitar playing fires up. You will go, that's Glenn Tipton and KK Downing. Well, these new guys, I don't know about that, but they have a sound. They're copying the sound, the template that Glenn laid down, and so it's just far more consistency there. Some of these other bands, I get in their albums, and I'm like, yeah, I like that first one. Okay, that second one's pretty cool, and this third one, what the fourth one? Oh, wow, where are you taking me with it? My ears are hurting. What happened? So, and a lot of bands suffered that. So, yeah, we'll see what the Bullet Boys can do and can't do. We'll see what these yahoos are really up to. There is some good packages you were pointing out to me. I mean, I'm kind of not gonna lie, man. If I can get it together, that Testament on a Saturday night,
it's on a
opening
Saturday.
of the tour, opening of the tour in
Poop City,
Portland, in Poop City. with Overkill. I've never seen Overkill. Overkill's an East
great.
Coast bound.
Yeah.
I fucking miss, man. And I've always wanted to see Blitz and Dee Dee. So if they're gonna be there, it's just that might be one I have to fucking cough up the money and drive into the shitty and deal with the parking and the bullshit to get to the fucking venue and see this show.
Right.
And I am a big Chuck Billy fan, and I just feel like, and their new album is, I don't care if you guys spin that one, it's a fucking solid disc, dude. So they're no. Again, another band with no retreat, no surrender. Just going to constantly bash you in the head with metal, and that's why I like it. If I'm going to go see that, that's what I want to go see.
Right.
So there is some good packages coming around next year, and
right.
Obviously the big Triumph reunion that everyone's getting wet for in Eddie Trunkland, and although the bass player already came out and said that he's got hand problems and can't play very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if that came my way, I don't think I'd go. You know what I mean? Like, it really, the breakdown, I think there's like 5 or 6 good Triumph songs that they'll probably play.
There's
but
like
I'm
4 I can name or something.
But I'll go, you know what? I'll wait for the live DVD or live album that they put out because they're going to.
That's pretty much what I was thinking too. I'll wait for someone to pro shot it and throw it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And see what they did.
Right. Right.
But I got to give them some. I didn't come away. A lot of the people came away on the Eddie Trunk interview going, well, this is a sham and they're doing this. I know they made it very clear that they're only going to perform certain songs and certain percentage of the show. And night to night, they're going to count on Todd and Phil X and these guys Brent to do the heavy lifting. But at least good for them. Again, at least they admitted we're old. We can't make this sound the way it should sound. So we're going to hire the proper help to make it sound like it should sound. And that's something that Don Dawkins should probably take note of. So,
yeah.
I mean, Rick Emmett straight said he can't sing the songs and the keys the way they're supposed to sound. So he's going to get Todd and these other guys to do it. So,
yeah. And those guys are good. I mean, Phil. I don't know that it's online. I might get you the copy of that Took album. They're doing just covers of Canadian bands. That's a pretty good record. So they're good musicians. I mean, they're part of they play with Bruce Kulick, or at least Todd does, and and they're in Slash's band.
Phil's been around in the solo. It can do it. I mean, he's not just the Jovi. We know that he's done a lot of different bands, filled in, play on. So no quality. That's what I'm saying. At least there, I thought I took it differently. I was like, I got a breath of fresh air that they're being honest with their abilities and inabilities. They're saying at this age, we can only do so much. We will be out there on the road with the band and appearing when we can as the best as we can. And there might be times when one of us can't do a song or two and has to take a break.
Right.
Gotcha. You're 77 or 75, of course.
Right.
So that's being real. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's another one I had just thought of, but I can't remember what it was now. But yeah, I don't think I would be taking in any. I would imagine there's no West Coast Triumph shows anyways. They're all doing their normal where they were popular, which is like the Midwest. You got anything else over there?
I was looking, but I can't think of. Well, let me look. I think there was something because we were just talking about. What are we talking about? The tours or whatever, right?
Yeah, different packages going around. There was a few more that got announced.
Yeah. Let me. Oh, no, there was the Guar, and I forget who's. For some reason, I marked that one off. What's coming in with Guar? There was a couple good bands I think that were on there. I don't know if you've seen Guar or if you even care, but they're coming in April.
Years ago when I was a teen, they were at the Crest Theater in Sacramento, California, and I caught them one time, and it was messy.
Oh, it's with Soulfly. Yeah, I don't want to get into that sludge. I mean, I think I remember the first time I saw Guar, I was in high school and I got some of that gunk on me, and I swear I got like the fucking flu. I don't know what the fuck was in there, but I was like, ick. Felt
some
like
of the shit that was coming my way smelled. I don't know what it was made of, but
I'm just like, oh, that's awful. But no, that's what it is. They're with Soulfly and King. Is it King Parrot? I think it's
King Parrot. Yeah, that's on. They're on Anselmo's.
Yeah,
on the Housecore record.
So that sounded kind of interesting. Now, again, I may not stick around for the whole Guar show just because it's like if you've seen it, it's just kind of like okay, I've seen it.
So it's kind of like seeing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. You gotta go see it one time, and then after that, you saw it.
Yeah, kind of like that. And I don't know. Ghost is coming though, I think, in is it February? I think they're at the Moda Center, but it's curtained off, so it's like the
Lower.
6,000 seat
Yeah.
configuration or whatever.
Mm.
But they always put on a good show. I mean, but again, they're a take it or leave it type band. I mean, I think some people go, it's kind of poppy now. Which I get.
Mhm.
They started off kind of sounding real Blue Oyster culty. That's what originally, uh, what originally caught my attention first with that
Me
first
too.
record is like,
Me
wow,
too.
that's like the Blue Oyster Cult. Um, but yeah, they've evolved into more of a poppy kind of
Poppy
band though.
commercial rock band. Yeah. And that's what I was trying to tell Andrew is like, I kind of get lost somewhere in there. I just kind of start feeling like every song kind of sounds like the other song. I don't really get that excited about any of them. And it's just me. I just don't, not really catching on to what, and that's just the way, like I said, music is a personal thing. Some people, this reminds me of that, so I'm going to like that. And then sometimes I go watch, well, that reminds me of that, but it's a bad version of that. I don't need to see that. So nothing wrong with Ghost. Sounds like they're doing good, and he's very popular dude with the music and everything.
Right.
So more power to him.
I think
I
the other
wouldn't
one
go see
that
it, but
looked good, and I don't know if do they have a Portland date? I didn't even look. But Clutch and COC, that one
that's a good
looked pretty
combo
good.
too. Yeah,
Um, I just don't remember if I don't. Oh, they had, yeah. See, they're skipping Portland. This is why, because they're playing in Boise, and I was like, "Fuck!" If nothing else, I may go see my kid and go see them in
same.
Boise, because they're not
I'd
playing in Portland or Seattle.
be very honest with you. I'd rather go see a show in Boise than Portland or Seattle.
Well,
It'd
yeah.
be
I
a
mean,
lot
it's a
less,
cleaner city. Oh
lot
my
cleaner
God.
city, less riffraff, less headache, easier for parking. Yeah, all the way around. Farther drive, unfortunately, but
I think that would
yeah,
almost be worth one of those things where you buy a cheap ticket, have them pick me up at the airport, and I have a place to stay, which would
yeah,
cost
they
the
could do that.
equivalent of traveling to Seattle.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So yeah, that would be a good combination. But yeah, I was telling Andrew, I think overall, when I look at it, I think there's better packages in 2026 than there
yeah.
was in
Well, they're
2025
going to
for me
have to
personally.
because there were some really shitty tours. I mean, eek.
Hmm. Yeah, that's why I think they're doing that. I think that they're starting to realize, well, I can go out with one
Hmm.
opening band and do spotty business, or I could pair up with these two other bands. They're a little more got more clout here, put a better package together,
Yeah.
and put more butts in the seats. You have more
I
better
think
business.
I think the other one was remember Megadeth. Megadeth is doing those shows with Anthrax and
Yes.
Exodus. I'm hoping
Hmm.
that makes it out to the West Coast. That would be
Yes.
awesome.
And did Iron Maiden have a Seattle date?
Not yet. I don't think they're going to
I don't
come
think they have. I
out
don't
this
think
way
they're
till
coming
the
up.
fall. I'm thinking they'll probably do Portland and Seattle. I know they did both cities last
Okay.
go round. Yeah.
I was kind of waiting to see if that popped up because that would be something I would be tempted to take the kid to for his
Well, that would be a
Iron
good
Maiden's.
one.
Yeah,
You
Iron
imagine?
Maiden's one of those bands you got to
Yeah.
go see live to understand what's going down. So
Iron
I know
Maiden
for
and
me, I
Megadeth.
listened to Iron Maiden a lot when I was younger, but I just didn't really appreciate them until I saw it live, and I went,
Hmm.
"Oh shit, this is what it's really about." Okay.
Yeah, and I think they're focusing a lot more on that stuff, and they have been since when was since they did that Flight 666
Mhm. Documentary.
documentary. It's like since then forward, it seems like they're doing like these heavy duty, cool production type things. And it's like, wow. I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, really have to see that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're a rock fan, the stage, the lighting, the props, the Eddie, everything they do, they put into it. Alice Cooper or Kiss. There's only in my world like 5 or 10 of these bands that put on that level of production in the rock scene. A lot of rock bands just get up there and give you the drums, the guitars, the amps, let's go. But these guys are bringing a whole nother. I mean, you've seen it. Bruce Dickinson from ramp to ramp around you will
Right.
be on every end of
Right.
that stage, waving the flags with Eddie chasing and
Right. Yep.
Yannick trying to dance around
Yeah.
like a
Right.
fool.
Yeah.
It's always prancing
Yeah.
around over there on
Prancing
stage
around.
somewhere.
Yeah.
And their new drummer
Uh,
seems to be holding it down. I
yeah.
didn't feel any. Yeah, I mean the
Right.
guy's on his shit. So clearly Steve Nuke had somebody lined up to take over that's younger and ready
Right.
to. the Thunder. So fuck, that's one. If they can get to either Portland or Seattle, I'm probably gonna have to bite the bullet and say, "Kid, you're getting in the rig. We're going up there. We're staying the night at the hotel and seeing our game."
Yeah.
So
Oof. Yeah.
yeah, I got him. He's like I told you, he got this new drum set. So my kids, I got Lars Ulrich in the other room every day, just boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, ba. So he came to me and he said, "I've been listening to a lot of Metallica," and he's 12, guys, so he's still trying to figure out. And he said, "I think I want the Ride the Lightning record." So I got the Ride the Lightning record for Christmas. So yeah, he's been in there sorting it out. I went out and picked him up a used drum set. He had been playing on electric kit for about a year and finally moved up and wants a real drum set, really. But it's
nice.
Man,
yeah.
Sometimes I do wish he was playing. Something
maybe Neely can do like a Zoom lesson.
Oh yes, give him some lessons on how to play Girls Gone Western.
Yeah, Girls Gone Western. Yeah,
that's such a classic title right there.
Yeah, right.
And you could see why MCA was in negotiation with Wendell and the band for a recording contract, because they probably thought Girls Gone Western could very well top the charts here in 1989. So
right.
I mean, if Rick Astley and Milli Vanilli were coming off big years, I'm sure they figured that, Steel Piston and Girls Gone Western could be next.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Right.
And for a guy that claims to be so rock and metal, to hear this song, ladies and gentlemen, which we're going to give you a whole segment. We'll make a segment out of it.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Well, yeah, you guys are going to be quite interested. I don't know how Andrew found. Andrew is like, don't wrong him, ladies and gentlemen. Don't wrong him.
Right.
He's going to find every speck of dirt in your history file that he can uncover a lot.
I want you to envision this, the intro to the Aqualung, that riff,
yes,
and then pause and then go, but she's 19, Chris.
100%. I bet I'll mix that up for us too.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do that.
We're gonna have some production things going on in the next few weeks between Trunk and his I Me Minds and some Aqualung with Wendell and I think it's just there's a lot to be. So hopefully they're prepared for it. Wendell, don't get too angry.
Right.
We're just going to use audio that you put out there, my friend. It's nothing. Same with Mr. Trunk. I know, Mr. Trunk, you're going to get pissed if you hear this, but it's just going to be audio you put out there that I'm just going to chop up and kind of put together and show how often you really say these things, because I don't think they're cognizant until you put it together like that. They go, "Wow, did I really say that many times?" Yes, in one episode you said "I, me, mine" like.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like your brother and the you-knows, right?
Oh
like,
God!
Chris.
Yeah, it's just the go-to. It's and I say duh or whatever. Everybody's got some crutch they go to when their brain stalls for a thought. His clearly is he goes straight to let me have a second here. To think about this, and I'm thinking that
Yeah.
But no Lady Taylor. So Shelly Rocks, here's your chance, right? Wendell's single and available. I mean, if you want to become queen of the CMS, Shelly Rocks, you'd slide on over to Valparaiso, Indiana, and enter the gated community of the HOA. We lost your mic.
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was
okay. Gotcha.
I was just laughing. No, I was going to pull this up though, because we don't want to forget about this. Give me a minute.
Mm-hmm. And we'll bring to you guys.
I was thinking that is funny though that your brother's available. Now's your chance to strike, Miss Shelley.
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is your chance. You got or Demon 2 if you really are a lady, so you claim.
Probably not. Probably a guy.
I don't think so either, but until proven otherwise.
You need to wish him a happy birthday.
This was definitely going to be going up on the Wrap Up Show's Facebook page on Christmas morning. And you will see this as our message. I love that Wendell's in there with Shelley and Jackal as the
and then look at
donkey is in the corner here.
The donkey, yeah.
Oh God, we should probably send this to Bobby Blotzer. He'd love this.
Oh, I wonder. We need to share this with Bob Leather and see what he thinks. He's
yes.
Gonna go, where's the little black boy?
Where's their whitey tidy yellow piss stained underwears?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
there
Happy
you go.
birthday, Wendell.
Yeah.
Christmas boy. Yes, coming up here. I don't know if that makes him a Sagittarius or a Capricorn. Somewhere in there is a cutoff that Andrew knows about. He's
Yeah.
telling me. I'm a Sagittarius. I know the 19th is a Sagittarius, but somewhere around Christmas or right after, I think, is or Capricorn cuts off. And so
Right.
yes. Wendell, I hope you enjoy your fine meal and your fine dining establishment in Chicago on Christmas Eve and
with
Christmas night
Clawfoot.
with your with Clawfoot and Sal, your boys.
Sal.
And you got some sweets for everybody, it sounds like. So that was really nice of you to throw out the dough for them on the holiday weekend. I hope Chicago treats you well and your car doesn't get stolen. Use the club.
Yeah.
Why don't you use the club while you're down there for make sure your truck doesn't get ganked.
Right.
And so enjoy yourself. I think we're pretty much wrapped up here for this. We gave them 2 hours of good shit.
2 hours
We're gonna come back
of stuff.
We're gonna come back next week. We are gonna hear from Vicki Vincent. She still wants to get back to this. She received an award that no one covered while Kiss had the Kennedy Center and crapped all over Ace. So we're gonna have a little interview with Vicki Vincent coming up. We have a couple of other segments that we're going to be prepared, and obviously some Steel Piston coming at you very soon. So,
right.
We won't see this stuff will be dropped around the time of Christmas Eve and Christmas. So Merry Christmas. Next thing you'll be seeing from us will be the weekend after Christmas, but we'll be giving you some more stuff for the holidays because Wendell and Aiken are gone for a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Right.
So we've given you bye fuckies. We've given you hit them with the hind. I think we need to go back to what is really about this wrap-up show, and that is taters. You got to give them taters like Mick Brown with Taters United. Yeah.
There you go. That's it.
All right, y'all.